Hey everyone, it's Monday in Clovis, New Mexico. Um, New Mexico, I walked here, carried everything on my back, and I walked here. Um, it's pretty freaky, isn't it? So, I was going to leave here today. Um, I was just a little bit under the weather, nothing serious, I'm not sick or anything, but I just needed an extra day. And was blessed enough to be able to stay another day, and I'm going to be heading out tomorrow and heading for points south out of here. There's a town, I don't know, a dozen or so miles from here south, and I'm not going to stay there. I'll just, when I get in there, I'll probably check in online, of course, and then refuel all my water and supplies, and then I'm going to be heading south out of there, and life is going to change dramatically after I leave there. I'm going to be heading towards Roswell, New Mexico. UFOs and aliens and all that, and it's going to be a whole different world, a different challenge, a lot of nothing, and it's going to put my my sensibilities to the test, of course. Hey, before I go any further, I want to thank everybody for the support and encouragement that I get online. It's amazing. I'm almost up to 2,000 followers. That freaks me the hell out that many people are interested in what I'm doing. And for those of you that have sent the contributions along, I thank you. I mean, I really, really, really thank you. I never thought about doing that. I'm not good at asking for things, and the fact that I was kind of encouraged to set up the PayPal account and everything, and I'm glad that I did. It is very, very helpful. Basically, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not walking for a cause or anything. I know a lot of people do, and I know that people that do that, many of them will skim off that to pay for their trip. I use the contributions that I get. I mean, I have some people that put me up for the night like this, and the other ones I use to eat. I mean, that's it. I buy new clothes every now and then. I buy food and whatnot, and anything else that I need. I'm not going to the circus or to the amusement parks with it. I spent $4 to go to the zoo the other day. But I mean, the biggest benefit of being helped by you folks is that when this is done, I have to have a life. I have to go back to my world, and you know, that's a whole thing. I mean, I'll get into that later. I have to be able to get home and all that, and then be able to start living again, whatever form that's going to take, which I'm not entirely sure yet. It's interesting having talked to other people that have claimed that they've done this, and one of the hardest parts after you do something like this is going back and living a mundane life. And excuse me, I know a fellow that's doing it now, and he's almost done, and he's facing that, going back and having to deal with his life, and he's really stressing over it. And I don't know that I'm going to stress over it. It'd be nice to see my family. I miss my daughter terribly. I miss the grandkids, and being able to interact with them on a day-to-day basis again is going to be great. And you know, it won't be such a big deal to walk to the grocery store, will it? This last leg, I didn't want to turn my videos into like negative stuff, but this last leg, it taught me a few things about me and what's going on and all. The traffic thing, I don't understand people. And driving. Sensible, nice, friendly wonderful people get behind the wheel of a car and just do stupid crap, and I don't understand it. And what it really boils down to is tailgating. I don't get the tailgating. I don't understand. You know, every day, not every day, but when I get on my laptop, you know, and I get on there, and the first thing I see is fiery crash on I-40, deadly this, deadly. I get into a motel room and turn on the news, and the local news has, you know, 6 people killed and blah, blah, blah on the fiery this, that, and the other. And it's all because of tailgating. It's just people who don't have control of their vehicles. And I see it on the road, and, you know, these clumps of cars, and including 18-wheelers, big trucks, coming along, not a cab length between them. And I'm just like, what happens is somebody has to hit the brakes, and the people behind them can't stop. I mean, and then you have these, you know, people swerving to get out of the way, and then it turns into this mangled mess of death. And I don't get it. I don't understand the stupidity. And then this last leg, I don't know what was going on. One after the next, I'm on a really big, wide right-of-way. I'm in the grass, and people are coming off the highway onto the right-of-way towards me, as if, hey, I'm going to kill you. But they're not really going to kill me, but they think it's funny to pretend that they are. And I don't understand what chip of humanity is missing in these people's brains. I'm glad I'm not king, because if I was king, I would, well, first they wouldn't be allowed to drive, they wouldn't be allowed to breed, and if I was in a bad mood that day or had a bad cup of coffee, I'd probably make sure that they weren't breathing by the end of the day. But enough of that. But what that did, though, it being aggravated like that brings up an interesting point about this trip. When I left Florida, or set out on this journey, things like that didn't bother me, because you're out of your normal comfort zone, your normal life zone, and you're facing challenges, new challenges. It changes your entire perspective. Doing something like this, especially on foot with everything on your back, it changes your perspective on everything. Physically, of course, mentally, spiritually, everything changes. Your world changes. And I'm not doing this in 6 or 7 or 8 months like some people claim they do, pushing those wheelie carts, and I could get into my whole skepticism about all that. But being on the road for a year, this has become my new comfort zone. This is my world. And what happens is, now I'm not living outside of a comfort zone anymore. This has become a new comfort zone, and therefore these little annoying things start to bother me again, and I don't like that. I don't have room for aggravation out here. This type of thing requires a lot of concentration. It's, you know, there's physical stamina involved, which is easy. It's the mental. You have to be on top of your game. You can't make bad decisions when you're doing things out here, and getting aggravated or upset about mundane, stupid things. You don't have time for that out here. So consequently, when I leave here and head out into the high desert and everything of New Mexico and Arizona, I'm looking forward to that, because that's going to create a new outside of this comfort zone. It's going to be new challenges, new things that I have to face. And I'm looking forward to that, because that means that these petty things that are bothering me now aren't going to matter anymore. And it's going to be about survival, and I like that. I'm looking forward to that. The heat doesn't bother me. I know people get freaked out about the heat. Even people that live out west out here, I got into Oklahoma when it's really starting to get hot again, and I'd go into a store and people would talk about the heat, and I'm like, the heat doesn't bother me. It's not that. It's maintaining, having a water supply and a food supply, and now I'm going to be facing 50, 60 miles of no towns that I'm going to have to eat, and I'm going to have to drink water, and that's where my concentration is. And routes, you know, where am I going to walk next, or where am I going to stop? You know, how far do I walk past this clump of trees and hope that there's another clump of trees 12 miles up the road, or do I stop here to sit out the heat of the day, and things like that. And then you know, and then do I have to worry about the wolves? Woo! This is cool. This is my baton. This is my my protector. A friend of mine gave this to me in Hardeman County, Tennessee when I went through, and this is my dog whacker. And I've only had to use it twice. Once was as I was coming into Amarillo. I don't worry about dogs too much. I get the dogs come out a lot, and usually they're just barking. I don't worry about a barking dog. Barking dogs don't attack you generally, and if you know how to use your body language and your posture, you can get past the dog and be on your way, and nobody's the worse for wear. The dog feels happy that he chased you off and you're not bit. The ones you have to worry about are the dogs that don't bark, the ones who are coming out with one intent, and that is to hurt you. I came into Amarillo, as I was on the east side of Amarillo, I came by a business. I had a couple dogs. They were barking, but there was one dog in particular, and it was a pit bull, go figure, right? And it came out and wasn't barking. He's head down, ears back, gums up, and I hear the click-clack of the nails, and it's coming at me full force, and I just whip this out and bop him on the head, and the dog didn't attack me. The other time I used it was just before Clovis. As I came through Texaco, there was a mixed breed dog, and I honestly didn't think that dog had a mean bone, and he came out barking, and my concern was that he was going to run out because he was doing the circling thing and barking, and I was worried that he was going to get hit by a car. His mom opened up the front door and called him back, and he went running back, and I was happy. I got about 10 yards up the road past the house, and I hear the clicking, and I turn around, and this dog was bristled up, ears back, gums up, running, no barking. I waited till he got about, not very many yards away from him. He was totally intent on biting me. So I just whooped this out and bopped him right here, and he turned around and hightailed it back home. So it's nice to have this. I guess I could use it on a human being if I had to, but I think if a person's intent on hurting you, they're going to do it, so you just got to fight them off. I'm not allowed to carry a gun when you're going across the country, so that's fine. I don't want to carry a gun. Anyhow, so what else? Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow, and new adventures, new worlds, new deserts, hopefully new animals. And I was just watching a video of my friend who goes out snake hunting, and him and his dad and his friend were in Arizona looking for rattlesnakes, and he got some video of a coati. I didn't even know they were in Arizona. But it was a coati out there digging for food. That's kind of cool. So I'm hoping to see some cool animals, and new adventures and new videos and new pictures and everything. I think that's it. I think I've covered it. Thank you, everyone, and I will catch all of you cats later.